Hey guys, it's the doc. It's good to be here. As promised, we're going to be doing a live stream of the very first video that I posted to the membership side of my channel, and it's called, I think I misspoke actually in the promo video for this. It's called Explosive Back Cyst, and we'll watch it together. So what we'll do is we'll watch it, and if you guys have any comments or questions, you can actually put them in. There's like a area where you can type in your question or your comments, and of course, we're trying to make this as interactive as possible. I'm happy to have you guys here. And again, this is really for the folks that are having some financial issues and having a hard time joining the membership side of the channel. Again, not my choice, but YouTube is coming for me. They don't really like the pimple popping content. So this is the only way I could actually maintain the integrity of my channel and allow it to grow. So without further ado, let's launch into the video here. Just give me a second. Okay, here we are. Is the sound of the video going to come also? Yeah. All right, cool, man. Numb me up.
Gotcha.
It looks like it's ready to go.
Thanks for your help.
Anytime, man. Okay. Are you guys hearing the sound of the video out there?
I consider that have you ever seen the movie Total Recall?
Yeah. I have my main list out here. The AV in the background.
Thank you for your help. I let it go.
So this was a fun cyst. This patient is, I think he was
it a lot smaller than I thought initially?
Correct. It's funny. I don't remember. I don't really watch these full videos. I lived it. So I'm actually kind of watching it for the first time in its entirety. I don't want to fast forward just to make sure that it's good. Thank you, Angie. Yes, this is my first time actually seeing it from beginning to end. So this one, guys, you can tell was ready to just pop. And a lot of that is when I inject the anesthesia. Obviously, the cyst distends a bit.
Don't get explosion, right?
And it makes it for a more potentially explosive situation. But here we're just making, this one's a pretty big cyst, so I know there have been questions about how I choose to make an incision. So for this particular cyst, because it's big and it's on the back and there's a lot of tension on it, I made it more of a classic elliptical incision, because that actually helps me when I have to close the cyst up. Really for me when I'm doing these, it's not actually about getting the cyst out. It's about how everything is going to look like a year or two down the road.
I have a turtle at home that has.
So you'll see me sometimes in the comments, I'm not treating
really?
the minute result after a suture. I'm really treating for the 5-year result, because I would make sure my patients have obviously a good functional outcome, which I'm sure I can do, but the cosmetic outcome is equally important to me.
Look at that, close and personal.
Hold on one second, guys.
Can hold in there.
This one here?
This would have been a good one for a gown. This would have been a good one for a gown.
I didn't know you had
Sorry. I just adjusted the EQs here a little bit. So I took the top layer of skin off. There it goes. There's the explosive action of the cyst. So once I realized that this cyst was under a tremendous amount of pressure, I decided to actually cut into the cyst to relieve some of that pressure and get some of the contents out, just so I could get it out without, making a huge mess.
It looked like a volcano that was about to explode.
Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free. I want to try to make this as interactive as possible. And if I'm talking too much, just let me know too. So here I'm just extracting some of the contents of the cyst inside the cyst. So this is all, it's regular old, what's called a sebaceous cyst. It's actually a terrible term. These really should be called an infundibular cyst. Hey there, 415 Tift, welcome. So that's all keratin that I'm removing from the contents of the cyst. So now I'm dissecting the cyst wall out. This one came out pretty much intact, but even around cysts that haven't ruptured or haven't really been messed with, there's a little fibrous sheath around the cyst. It's almost like a little bit of scar tissue that forms as the body's trying to wall it off. Hey, Deborah, welcome.
A little bit of scar tissue forms around it.
So here I'm just dissecting that out. So you'll see what looks like, there's a cyst wall. You can see it. That's the fibrous sheath that I'm cutting out now. So that's basically, I'm just trying to release the cyst from the skin. And this one came out pretty easily. Hey, Alan, how you doing? I appreciate it. And that's actually some of the fibrous sheath that's left behind, so I'll go back and I'll get it. Here we're just putting the cyst into a bottle of formalin. I'll review it. I'm actually a pathologist also, so I review everything that we remove from the patients just to make sure they're benign. And these are invariably benign, but once in a blue moon you could catch something odd. So here, like I said, I'm just getting the rest of that fibrous sheath out. Angie asked, "Are we going to get more videos?" Yeah. So basically, I'm posting a video every week, like I always have.
I'm surprised it didn't
but
pop.
again,
Yeah,
these are going to be all on the
so
membership side of my channel, just
This
because
is just like I said, it's been there
of
for
the
a while,
restrictions
so it's
YouTube's
just
putting on
spark or
channels
something
that are
like
posting
Nah,
surgical
yeah.
content. But I'm going to try to do these pretty frequently. If you guys like it and it goes well, we'll do these every week or every couple of weeks, just so I could share the content with folks that aren't able to make it over to the membership side. Again, these are educational. I love making this content, and I'd love to post it for free for everyone to see. But YouTube's not
You
making
got a
it as
battery
easy as
pack
it
for
was
your
before.
phone.
So here again, I'm just getting out the rest of the fiber sheath. There may be a tiny bit of cyst wall that's there too, so this will really prevent a recurrence. And I think you're pretty close to being done. So usually once I remove the cyst, I just kind of take a poke around just to make sure
the mini
that
Grim
everything's
Reaper.
completely out.
Call me around the forest.
You're very kind.
15
Thank you very
so
much.
far.
So here I'm just getting some last remnants
Yeah,
out.
I give you 5.
Just one is,
I was pretty positive.
just to be 100% certain there's no cyst wall left behind.
So really, no
But also just
limitations other
optimizes
than
the
physical
closure, and here's
activity.
what I'm doing now.
Gotcha.
So
You can
the type
shower
of suture that I'm
well.
using, it's called
2 weeks to
a
just
vertical mattress suture. And I use this a lot because I don't particularly love doing a layered closure for cysts. That's when you put it deep.
Take the
You
dressing
put
off before you
the
shower.
stitches in deep, then you put the
And then when
stitches
you
in
get out of the shower,
superficially.
some Vaseline
Because a
on
lot of
the
times
stitches,
there's a
and then
big
you go.
void that's left in the
You just
skin
need one of those,
with
like,
these
big
cysts,
square
and
bands, kind.
blood and serum. Your body naturally
Your
just fills
body
that
naturally
void with
trying to fill this
fluid.
little hole with, like,
And that
blood
fluid
and serum
really,
and stuff.
I like to allow
So
it to
I know it's
escape
like
because it
the
optimizes
water
healing and
body
also
discharge
helps
from
prevent
the area.
infection.
Yeah. It's
So
totally
this way I
normal.
can actually close the skin
There's,
very,
like,
very
pus right
well.
there that seems like it doesn't-
Using
shouldn't
this
be
particular
happening,
type of
call
stitch,
me
there's
all
not a
the
lot of tension
Right.
along the
Where
wound
this
edge.
seems irritated maybe.
And
Yeah,
I
just
can
leave it
allow
there.
material to
I'm gonna
escape
play
that
a
may be
couple
collecting
visits later.
inside that cavity
Don't
from
worry.
removing the cyst.
Let me just check.
But in some instances, I do a layered closure. If I'm removing a skin cancer where there's not like a huge cavity, then I want to close the skin in a layered
Doing initials?
fashion.
That's it. This is the.
This is, I think, the last of the stitches. I'm putting one more after this. Thank you, Jill. So like I said, we're going to try to do these, as my schedule allows, like once a week, or probably more along the lines of once every 2 weeks. So that way, all the content that I'm posting on the membership side will be available for anyone to watch. This generally is the best time for me. Thursdays are sort of my admin day where I catch up on stuff. So usually at the end of the day, I have some time to do this sort of thing, which is why we're doing it at 4 o'clock. I'm on the East Coast, so this is 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
I'm just gonna clean up a little bit here, and then Amy's just gonna patch you up.
Gotcha.
So all you
That's
need
it.
to do
So
is the
here I'm
Vaseline
just actually
band.
making sure that none of the stitches, the ends of the stitches, are stuck under a knot, because it actually makes it very difficult to remove the stitches when the patient comes back in a couple of weeks. So, I'm pretty meticulous about this part of it at the end of the surgery, because usually one of my assistants removes the stitches, and I want them to be, very easy for
Sometimes a new
them to
bottle
do
of
that,
Woodford bourbon tomorrow.
so nothing is left behind.
'Tis the season.
You'll hear me say attention to
So
detail
that,
a lot
it kind of
in
like
my other
because
posts.
there's like a pretty big system
You know,
sticking
really
out your skin. It almost feels like this little hole.
Attention to
there.
detail and all this sort of stuff is
All
very
totally
important,
normal. It's
because
just gonna fill in. But it can take,
everything
like,
does
honestly,
have
months
like a
to do
downstream
really
effect.
fine.
So if I don't,
So
if I'm not
we'll
meticulous
figure
about
it
the
out.
stitches there,
When we come back, take
then my
the
assistant
stitches
might have a
out,
hard
you
time,
know,
which
you
is not
really
going to be great
good
for my
sense of it.
patients. So
So just the Vaseline and banding over the
Typical
stitches.
laser
I'll see you in 2
copy,
weeks.
just to
Take
make sure
stitches
everything's
out.
okay.
Amy's just gonna make sure everything looks good before you split. And I'm around if you need anything.
going over what my
All right,
patient
any questions?
can expect over the next few
Cool,
days
good.
here.
Nice to see you there.
Appreciate it.
And,
That's pretty much a
take a
wrap.
picture of your house and show us.
Later.
Take care.
You too.
All right, so that was the very first cyst that we posted on the membership side. So Deborah's asking, how is New York? We have 5 feet of snow, holy smokes, and ice. 23 degrees in Northern California. Wow, that's no joke. Well, it's actually spring is in the air here, so it's about 50 degrees today. So I feel like the worst of the winter is over here. So looking forward to a good spring. Thank you very much, Corey. I appreciate that. If any of you guys have any other questions, I'll just stay on here for a few more minutes before I continue on with the rest of my day. I'll just hang out here for a little bit. Well, thank you all for coming, first of all. It's really fun for me. All of you guys are just sort of like names existing on YouTube and on social media. So it's a lot of fun getting to interact with you guys at all, because usually it's just always a one-sided conversation, either you talking to me or me talking to you. But at least with this format, we can communicate with each other a bit. So hopefully, as we do more of these, more folks will log on. I'll keep promoting them on my channel as well, so folks are aware that we're doing this sort of thing. I know it's kind of an odd time; a lot of folks are at work, but and aren't able to make it in. But hopefully, our schedules will collide as time goes on. So I think that's pretty much a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great having you on here, and I look forward to the next one. Just stay tuned. We're actually posting a really, really fun video on Sunday. I'm not going to tell you much about it, but it's going to be a good one. I think you guys are going to like it. So with that, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for the next one. Have a great night, guys.